Thank you, Adrian. First and foremost, I'd like to express our regret and sadness that we lost an entrepreneur in the carnation of Tan Sri Naza. Lost a battle through cancer yesterday morning. So in your own way, please pray for him. I'm also very glad that there are so many faces here that many are new since last year and still very interested in this very important subject that affects all our lives personally and our future generation. So good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming again today on this second Climate Change Business Conference. 1 year ago, we are still in the early days in terms of widespread commitment to addressing this issue. Despite the undisputable evidence, global warming is still perceived by many as some vague threat. Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, ignorance in this case is not bliss. We have to face up to the irrefutable reality of things, that climate change is indeed an inconvenient truth that we have to accept and act on today. I'm really heartened by the recent AXA Live survey in early April 2008, which suggests Malaysians display higher than average concern on the subject of climate change and global warming. We were ranked 5th behind Thailand, Indonesia, France, and Japan, as the recent study on social attitudes and behavior across 26 nations were revealed. What is the role of technology as solutions in tackling climate change? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure you will have followed the recent UN Climate Change Summit in Bali, which successfully produced an agenda for negotiations amongst countries, as well as a roadmap and deadline for tackling climate change in the next 2 years. One of the 4 key areas identified as a priority was the importance of technology and innovation in tackling climate change. Over a decade ago, YTL began innovating ways to use clean technology, realizing the implications of uncontrolled carbon emissions into the atmosphere, as well as exploring renewable energy sources due to the heavy energy demands of the utilities and the construction industries. For example, as a key utilities player, we insist that our equipment suppliers continuously work to improve their technology, not just because we demand it, but also due to the big consumer push for it. Given the extremely urgent deadline of just 1 decade that we have to solve climate change, there is no doubt in our mind that technology is going to be a key make or break factor in the world. Ladies and gentlemen, perhaps a few years ago, such achievements could have been written off as exceptions to the rule. However, major global trends in the last year or so are telling a very different story. In parts of Asia and across Europe and America, there is a boom in clean technology investments thanks to increasing market interest and demand in this field. In a recent issue of Time magazine, clean tech was identified a prime target for the smartest and for the richest investors in the world. Green investments by American venture capital firms reached almost $2.6 billion in the first 3 quarters of 2007 alone, the highest level ever recorded, and nearly 50% more than the total of the whole of 2006. In China, the country unquestionably said to be the world's largest consumer of energy, almost a whopping 20% of all venture capital went towards clean companies in 2006, double the percentage of that in the United States. A recent UN report also found that US $100 billion was invested in global sustainable energy products, including mergers and acquisitions in 2006. And Western corporations are further keen to invest in Asian renewable energy. Simply put, we have no doubt that the energy and green technology is set to be the largest economic opportunity we've seen so far this century. The potential of clean tech as an investment opportunity has no ceiling. To quote my friend and famed economist Jeffrey Sachs, the defining challenge of the 21st century will be to face the reality that humanity shares a common fate on a crowded planet. Given the importance of technology and its role in tackling climate change, YTL would like to reaffirm its commitment to pushing for more investments in this field, as financial support and investors' interests are going to be major success factors behind its adoption and widespread application. We are already keen principal investors of the ASEAN Renewable Energy Fund, and now we are also investing in Global Renewable Energy and Environmental Fund, a global clean energy fund. Considering that Asia is contributing the most to global growth, and unfortunately to global pollution as well, tremendous opportunities exist in the renewable energy and environmental sectors, especially as more affluent Asians are demanding a better environment to live in. These demands have led to the formulation of green policies and legislation. And these funds not only hope to profit from these trends, but also aim to cut carbon emissions while doing so. We hope we will see strong interest from institutional investors in this field, as their support for the development and implementation of renewable energy and clean technology will have a major impact on how fast solutions to climate change are put into place. What's the role of business in climate change? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to explore this morning the role of business in the fight against climate change and the business opportunities of climate change. The involvement and cooperation of business and industries is crucial if we are to curb the extreme effects of climate change. It is business that provides the sophisticated, energy-intensive goods and services demanded by the voracious consumer appetites of the world's burgeoning population. It is business that deploys the world's production and logistical machinery that needs significant energy support and resources use. It is business that utilizes the immense financial resources to fund the world's desire and pressure for year-on-year economic growth. It is business, therefore, that will be required to act innovatively and responsibly to combat ecological and environmental concerns.